money rituals, schools and federal government to build technology hubs. Good evening and welcome to News Round on Impact Africa Television, IATV. I am Bolabo, Famous School. President Muhammadu Buhari has received a comprehensive briefing on the coup attempt to hoist President Umar Embalo of Guinea-Bissau. This is as the president today met with the senior minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs for Guinea-Bissau, Suzy Babuza. During the meeting, the ministers gave the graphical presentation of the attempts to overthrow the constitutional order in the country, adding that loyalist forces aborted the attempted coup. They noted that rebel forces destroyed the presidential palace with bazookas, killed 11 young people, while it took about 5 hours to restore order. In his remark, President Buhari pledged to consult with all the leaders of the economic community of West African states on how full normalcy can be restored to the country within the shortest possible time. It will be noted that the meeting is coming on the sideline of the ongoing African Union Summit, heads of state and government in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. In the meantime, President Buhari has affirmed that the development and growth of Africa will require strong and visionary leadership which caters to the people's needs. The president noted that leadership must effectively strengthen institutions which will encourage peaceful coexistence while providing disincentives to conflicts and coups. Speaking today in Addis Ababa, President Buhari commended the efforts of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to maintaining peace and unity in the country and his dedication to ensuring fairness and justice and development. He urged the Prime Minister to stay focused on keeping the country together in spite of the difficulties facing it. President Buhari also assured him that Nigeria will continue to support the nation's efforts in peaceful coexistence and unity. Buhari, who said Ahmed has provided strong leadership for the country, encouraged him to sustain good work in ensuring even development. In his remarks, the Prime Minister thanked President for support to the country over the years on national and personal endeavors, particularly in encouraging unity and stability. Ahmed noted that Africa had experienced slow growth due to conflict, adding that the larger economies like Nigeria and Ethiopia must provide the leadership which will deepen progress and prosperity on the continent. Meanwhile, the National Assembly says it is working assiduously on devolution of powers at the center to ensure fiscal federalism. This according to the Senate spokesperson Ajibola Bashiru, while speaking at a media chat with newsmen in Osogbo. Bashiru said several items have been moved from the exclusive to concurrent list to ensure that powers are no longer concentrated at the center. Bashiru noted that when the bill is passed, it will give more responsibilities to states and bring about fiscal federalism.
By the time we have a final draft, it will be a good signal to ensure that the states have more responsibility, and this will also impact positively in terms of fiscal federalism. On the question of the bill for the NATFOS, I'm aware about the bill. The bill is already at committee stage, and I will say publicly that I'm in support of the passage of the bill because it will help us to mop up our small arms and all other unsavory equipment that are militating against security in the country. So we are working on it, and I believe that in a matter of weeks, by the time we have a final draft, it will be a good signal to ensure that the states have more responsibility, and this will also impact positively in terms of fiscal federalism. On the question of the bill for the NATFOS, I'm aware about the bill. The bill is already at committee stage, and I will say publicly that I'm in support of the passage of the bill because it will help us to mop up our small arms and all other unsavory equipment that are militating against security in the country. So we are working on it, and I believe that in a matter of weeks, the bill should be able to see the light of the day.
The African Union has condemned the recent wave of military coups, which has seen an unprecedented number of states suspended from the bloc. This is as Burkina Faso became the fourth country to be suspended by the Union after disgruntled soldiers toppled President Roch Christian Kabore. Guinea, Mali, and Sudan are also currently suspended. At the ongoing African Union Summit of Head of State and Government in Ethiopia, the leaders condemned the wave of unconstitutional changes of government. Speaking with newsmen today, the union's head of Peace and Security Council, Bankole Adeoye, lamented the worrying resurgence of such military coups. Adeoye also commended the use of suspensions to punish coup leaders, even as he called on the union to be more proactive to prevent further occurrence. It is those that the commitment of the union to the Palestinian push for independence is unchanging and can only continue to grow stronger. The president of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, says good governance is important in the development of the African continent. Speaking on the importance of good governance in Nigeria, Adesina said to achieve the desired development, the federal government must be committed to and contribute positively to national growth. Adesina noted that as Nigeria continues to advance her development leadership and the role of the federal government in ensuring effective participation of the people is crucial. It will be recalled that President Buhari had, while speaking at the ongoing African Union Summit in Ethiopia, reiterated Nigeria's commitment to continue to pursue peace and progress in Africa. The president also affirmed that he will continue to ensure peace and progress in other parts of the world, while consistently pushing for justice, fairness, and inclusiveness in global affairs. Godfatherism has become a universal issue in the political development of many countries and the central point of political vandalism, Nigeria inclusive. This is due to its over-concentration of authority in the political space. Speaking on the development, Nigerians noted that Godfatherism is an inescapable phenomenon as it is a political pattern inherited over the years. Taiwo Onlarewajo completes the report.
Godfatherism has become a universal issue in the political development of many countries and the central point of political vandalism, Nigeria inclusive. This is as a result of the over-concentration of authority in the political space. The problems arising from Godfatherism remains one of the problems facing the Nigerian political system as it deprives the people of voting for their ideal candidate as a leader. In recent times, the failure of the godson to meet the demands of the godfather is often punished with impeachment or denial of re-election. Speaking on the development, a senior lecturer at the University of Ibadan, Obafemi Jegede, said Godfatherism is an inescapable phenomenon in Nigeria as it is a political pattern inherited over the years.
It's a political pattern as inherited over the years in Nigeria. So it has become a very, very important characteristics of the Nigerian politics. It can serve advantages, it can as well serve disadvantages. It's almost like inescapable phenomenon, at least in the nascent Nigerian democracy. It is inescapable at this level to have Godfatherism. We really wouldn't be able to escape it. But over the years, it will reduce. And I think it's reducing over the years. Later, as we get more mature, it will be reducing. And at a particular point, it will no longer exist.
Jegede helped on the need for the sensitization of the masses, not leaving behind the political elites.
I've been advocating for public education, that the Nigerian, populace or the Nigerian people should be educated politically, and that to me is still the major burden or problem of the present political landscape of this nation. So one good way to curb it is to sensitize people enough so as to know their level, to the degree that they know even the governor who is contesting as a governor and the person contesting as a president will not longer see themselves as a dictator or as a better privilege than others.
Similarly, a political analyst, Akinpelu Oluwaseun, said Godfatherism in Nigeria cannot be ruled out.
There is no how we raise a leader in Nigeria or Africa that it won't, you don't have someone that will be the one that will sponsor you, maybe because of sponsorship anyway. You know, aside from the party sponsorship, you know, people, they like to, when someone spend a lot of money on you, by the time you get to the power, you have no choice. You have to reckon with the person, so it can never be ruled out.
Oluwaseun said unless the political space is reshaped and restructured like it is done in advanced countries, the trend will continue into coming generations.
What we can do is that if we can maintain the level of politics in advanced country, in developed world, that is when it can be ruled out. But presently, in Africa, in Nigeria, there's nothing we can do about it.
No doubt, the conflict arising from godfatherism has become one of the greatest problems facing the nation's political system. As the 2023 general elections draw near, there is a need to enlighten the people on the negative effects of political godfatherism on the development of the nation. Taiwo Olanrewaju, IATV News.
A former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, has expressed the need to create a forum for ex-governors in order to assist and support incumbent state governor in ensuring the growth of their states. He made this known during a visit to his residence by his predecessors, Kayode Olofimoyin and Daniel Akintonde. Speaking with IBR's Rahima Lawal, Oshoba added that the forum will serve as a benchmark for the establishment of the Southwest region and the Yoruba nation. The former governor explained that the wealth of experience of the past leaders is for the development of the country. Oshoba also revealed that Southwest region leads other regions in terms of good education. He assures that he will contribute his quota to ensure the adequate functioning of the forum as much as he has the energy and intellectual capacity.
I appreciate it. This visit is a healing visit, I can assure you. It's going to give me the courage to expedite the healing process that I'm going through at the moment. I must say that publicly, I want to say it, that I'm proud to have been associated with you people, at least the two of you. You are both my predecessor and successor. After 1993, he succeeded me, and he presented before my coming back in 1999. The Commodore you handed over to me in 1999. I must say that the standard of performance of new military governors, both before and my coming in, I would say, high standard, high level of governance. It's unfortunate that over time this level of standard is not the same anymore. And I'm proud to say that both military governors in the two different republics, starting from General Balogun, the first governor of Ogun State, to the likes of Popola, Ranjit Asaki, Ewang, Admiral Joseph, Commodore Olofimoyin, Colonel Akintonde, you all served with total dedication and level of incorruptibility. So I'm proud to have been associated with you. I'm not ashamed. I assure you, and I think we have to look at it. Maybe at some point, we former governors may have to come together to start a kind of project of advising governors in the state and use that as a benchmark for the whole of Southwest and the Yoruba nation. As to the road that I should be, it's all of us. We are now elder statesmen to a large extent. All of us must come together as people have successfully governed, none of us is a failure, successfully governed their state, Ogun State, because I take all of you now as indigenous of Ogun State, irrespective of whether
Meanwhile, a socio-political group, the Coalition of Nigerian Youth, has called on young people to participate actively in the forthcoming 2023 general elections to effect the desired change and build the nation. In a statement in Abuja, the national coordinator of the group, Chukwuka Odimbo, lamented that young people, despite being 1.5% of the population, often find themselves marginalized from mainstream politics and decision-making. Odimbo noted that the youth are at the receiving end of bad governance, hence they cannot continue to be used by politicians to destroy their electoral process.
It's on this note we call on every well-meaning Nigerian citizenry, especially the community of youths, to take up a political struggle, either to participate actively in politics, as it is the only avenue to corrosively effect the change we want to see. Go out there and get your PVC ahead of the next general election in 2023. It is the only weapon we have to make a fundamental statement in the country, politics, and provocably cause a paradigm shift of power from the incompetent to the competent, old generation to the younger generation. 2023 is the only opportunity we have got to change the narrative. If we don't get it right as youth in 2023, it will take donkey years to actualize our desire for a more prosperous Nigeria. It is time to stand and defend your country. If otherwise, posterity will not forgive you.
The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project SERAP has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to review and rescind the approval for security agencies to access people's personal details via NIN SIM linkage without due process of the law. In a statement, the group urged the President to send executive bills to the National Assembly to repeal and reform all laws which are inconsistent and incompatible with the people's rights to privacy, dignity and liberty. According to the group, millions of Nigerians may now feel that their private lives are subject of constant surveillance. The group affirmed that the right to privacy allows Nigerians to hold opinions and exercise freedom of expression without arbitrary or illegal interference and attacks. SERAP noted that the right to privacy can enable the enjoyment of other rights and the free development of an individual's personality and identity. It should be recalled that some security agencies have received presidential approval to access people's personal details via the database of the National Identity Management Commission in the course of carrying out their duties. A former senator representing Bayelsa East Senatorial District, Betmore Bruce, has decried the situation where young people now believe that money rituals is the only way to get rich. In a statement via his social media, Bruce advised the federal government to build technology hubs where young people can make use of their knowledge of technology for productive ventures. Bruce called for a return to traditional family values, ordering that family is where moral instructions are instilled in children. According to him, many Nigerians go missing daily, while some are never found, some are found dead with their body parts missing. The former senator also admonished parents and guardians to rebuild their families and inculcate love and tolerance among their children. Bruce called on politicians and elite to refrain from the act of flaunting their wealth at both publicly and on social media platforms. He charged security agencies to deploy intelligence, apprehend the perpetrators of ritual killings, and bring them to justice. It will be recalled that 4 teenagers were arrested in Ogun State for beheading a young lady for money ritual purposes. As the get-rich-quick trend continues to rise in the society, Impact News crew today went round town to sample the opinions of the people on the menace. Speaking on the development, some students of the University of Ibadan attributed the trend to unhealthy parenting and greed on the part of the youth. The report.
The rate of fraudulent activities among students have been on a hike. There has been issues of ritual killing, kidnapping, and yahoo activities, following the rising trend of the get-rich-quick syndrome. To counter this development, Impact News crew today went round town to sample the opinions of the people on the matter. Expressing their views, some students of the University of Ibadan said the menace is on the increase due to peer pressure and greed among the youths.
Peer pressure, because most people, when they come into university, they are coming into a new life, so they really don't know which friend to choose, which friend not to choose. So, and most people used to fall victims of peer influence.
People get unnecessarily oppressed from the media. They see things and they want it, and they can't go through the work or the process that it takes to have those things. They just want to cut corners. And I think it's also more of a personal moral standards.
Also speaking, Olayinka Ayobami, a student of the institution, said criminals now hide under the guise of bad governance as a reason to perpetuate their evil acts.
The reason for the increase in fraudulent activities among our students and youth today is all because of lack of contentment. I discovered that most people are not contented with whatever they have, whatever their parents are giving to them. Fine. There is this urge to make more money. The government cannot even provide for everybody, but the government should just make sure that at least they are doing their best. But then, even if the government is still providing, we will still have some people that are not benefiting. So those ones that are not benefiting should just calm down and be contented. They should just keep hustling.
Some said the economy of the country is not applaudable. Others noted that the sudden increase in ritual killing and yahoo among students between the ages of 17 to 20 is a situation that needs to be put to an end immediately.
The parents should be blamed. You have to take good care of your kids. Morals, you should teach them morals. They say charity begins at home. If a kid like that, should be doing something like at that point in time, at the age, at 17, that means by the time he's 25, a lot of other havocs will happen.
No doubt, the hardship in the country is unavoidable. The people have no reason to practice violence and indecent acts. It is high time the federal government takes proactive measures to put an end to the rising increase of insecurity across the country. Ayoluwa Oyeyemi, IATV News.
Away from that, the House of Representatives has urged the federal government to make concerted and conscious effort to secure the future of the country through the diversification of resources. In a motion moved by a member of the House, Chinedu Obidigwe, he charged the federal government to focus more on the non-oil sectors of the economy by adopting alternative sources of revenue to enable foreign inflow. Obidigwe also expressed concern that the federal government spent over 1.8 trillion naira on debt servicing in the first 5 months of the year 2021.
Concerned that a country such as Kuwait, with a population of 4.2 million people and projected growth of 5.3 million by 2050, has a future fund of 700 billion to cater for their future population, whereas Nigeria, with an approximate population of over 200 million and estimated population growth of 401 million people by 2050, has a future generation fund of only $2.5 billion. The House worried that the federal government has spent over 1.8 trillion naira on debt servicing in the first 5 months of the year 2021, representing approximately 98% of the total revenue generated in the same period, which begs the question of where the savings are. The House resolves: 1. Urge the federal government to make concerted and conscious efforts to secure the future by A. Increasing earning and diversification of resources. B. Focusing more on non-oil sectors of the economy by adopting alternative sources of revenue to enable foreign inflow from oil earnings to go straight to the sovereign wealth fund without affecting budget financing.
Her mentor, her teacher in the school, and at the end of the day, she was harmed and killed by that tragic accident. Mr. Speaker, part of my prayers here are to appreciate the Kano State Governor under the leadership of our great leader, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, for giving all the supports to the operatives that are in front of the issue, making sure the so-called guy was arrested and justice has been rendered. And Mr. Speaker, I want also this honorable chamber to acknowledge the effort of security personnel. Successful operations lead to the arrest of the suspected criminal and collaborators through a strategic intelligent gathering and tactical security operatives. Also, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I clearly condemn the ghastly acts and constitute a delegation, if possible, to see how they can commiserate with Kano State government and the family of the late deceased.
Fears have continued to mount over recent attacks by kidnappers in Ogun and Oyo State axis of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. This is as Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and his Ogun State counterpart Dapo Abiodun held a joint security meeting over the rising cases of kidnappings, armed robberies and other crimes along their boundaries. Speaking with IBR's Taiwo Olanrewaju, some road users expressed worry, saying the rising cases of insecurity in the axis call for urgent attention. The report.
Recent attacks by kidnappers in the Ogun and Oyo State axis of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Some drivers and commuters who regularly ply the route have expressed worry over the worsening level of kidnapping, which, according to them, started to get out of hand in December 2021. In a bid to provide solutions to the crisis, the governors of Ogun and Oyo State, Dapo Abiodun and Seyi Makinde, yesterday held a joint security meeting. Speaking with Imperial News Crew correspondent, a senior lecturer at the University of Ibadan, Dr. Shola Ishola, said there should be collaborations between state governors, adding that the public also needs to show commitment by giving accurate information.
One of the strategies that can be used to curb kidnapping is the collaborations that are now taking place between the state governors. For example, yesterday, Governor Makinde of Oyo State met with Ogun State Governor, and they were able to discuss on way forward in order to curb the trend, because it is very apparent now that the border between Ogun and Oyo State, the communities along those borders, I mean, it is very, very common that kidnappings takes place and other kind of criminalities. So the tendency is that because of the of different security situation in the two territories, they will escape from one state to the other. But now with collaboration, the security people can work together. But above all, I think the public also have to show commitment to curbing kidnapping and other forms of crime by giving information to the security people.
Ishola, who also helped on the need for enlightenment and encouragement on the part of the citizens, added that the Southwestern Security Network should be transformed and empowered.
Amotekun has been trying, in spite of all odds. But of course, naturally, they have been handicapped because of the enabled law that has established them, and the fact that even the federal support, is not very strong, and the cooperation with the police is not also very strong. The Amotekun should be transformed into state police so that they are empowered more, and then they will be also constitutionally empowered to carry more sophisticated weapons in order to fight those criminals.
On his part, a security expert, Michael Olalekan Adeniji, lamented the fact that security challenges have increased with time. He noted that aside from having a plan to stop it, there should be a strong political will and proper capacity to achieve the goal.
We need to pull our resources together, put together a good plan on what we want to do about the insecurity. Insecurity is just like my people who have a saying that so there has to be a plan that we want to stop this thing. We have to be politically ready to stop it, because we can do good policies. But if our political nuances does not go towards that good policies, the good policy will not work. Our political environment pollutes our security environment, because you cannot remove the two from each other. We keep having the same problem over and over again, and government keep coming up with policies that they say, we're going to use this to solve it. But because they cannot follow through, because of political exigencies, we keep having the same problem over and over again.
As citizens, we must adopt a common strategy to find lasting solutions to these security challenges. Taiwo Olanrewaju, IATV News.
We're going to break now. News Run returns very shortly. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News Round on Impact Africa Television, IATV. Now to the rest of the news. The Academic Staff Union of Universities has urged staffs across the country to sensitize members of the public on the situation between the union and the federal government. This is also declared tomorrow as a lecture-free day in a bid to enhance the centralization. Speaking with newsmen in Abuja, the national president of the union, Emmanuel Oshodeke, noted that the union is yet to declare a strike but will sensitize the public and the state of affairs between the union and the federal government. It will be recalled that President Muhammadu Buhari had pledged the commitment of his administration to fulfilling the agreement with the union. Buhari made the promise when members of Nigeria Interreligious Council visited him to discuss the lingering issues. The president also pleaded with the union to exercise patience and consider current economic realities. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has recorded 145 cases of COVID-19 in 9 states and the Federal Capital Territory. In a statement today, the NCDC said the total number of infections in the country now stands at 253,685. The center also reported 3 COVID-19 related deaths, as the country's total death toll is now 3,139. According to their update, Imo State led with 65 infections, while Lagos, Ondo, and Kano reported 36, 20, and 6 cases, respectively. In another development, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has recorded 40 Lassa fever-related deaths in January. It is updated in its update today in its verified Twitter handle. The center disclosed that 4 health workers were also infected following the latest outbreak of Lassa fever in the country. The center noted that it is currently distributing medical response commodities to state and treatment centers. According to the agency, 40 deaths and 981 cases were reported in January 2022 across 43 local government areas in 14 states across the country. The Independent National Electoral Commission says a total of 1,322 ad hoc staff have been trained in readiness for elections in the Kuje Council of the Federal Capital Territory. In an interview, the electoral officer of the commission in the FCT, Zainab Befiwi, said the training exercise lasted for 3 days. Befiwi said the exercise was without any challenge, adding that the commission is prepared for the February 12 elections in the 6 area councils of the FCT. She added that participants in the training exercise included presiding officers, assistant presiding officers, and core members. Befiwi also disclosed that the said commission will deploy all necessary human, material, and managerial resources to ensure that the election remained free, fair, credible, peaceful, inclusive, and transparent. It will be recalled that the commission had evaluated the risk to the election using the Election Violence Mitigation and Advocacy tool.
The Commission will intensify its engagement with stakeholders, particularly party leaders, transport providers, civil society organizations, and the media. We will work with all stakeholders to ensure that the forthcoming election is peaceful and our processes credible. That is why this meeting is crucial. Securing the environment is the foundation for a peaceful, well-organized, and credible election. For our part, the Commission has also been evaluating the risk to the election using the Election Violence Mitigation and Advocacy tool, the EVMAT. The aim is to identify early warning signals that could assist the security agencies and other stakeholders in devising and deploying appropriate mitigation strategies. Among other areas of concern, the Commission focused on threats to specific geographical locations, proliferation of small arms and light weapons, the issue of hard drugs, presence of insurgents and armed groups, intra- and inter-party conflicts, and incidents of hate speech.
Now touches to the FCT chairmanship and councillorship election scheduled for 12th of February 2022. He wishes to note that the FCT election is not known to have recorded any form of violence in the past, and he urged all security agencies to replicate the level of professionalism being exhibited in the last Anambra election as we look forward in conducting these FCT elections.
The Osun State Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has urged the residents of the state not to be deceived by promises coming from untested politicians. This is as the governor promised to continue to place high priority on the welfare of the populace if re-elected. Speaking today at an engagement program in Oriade local government area of the state, Oyetola dismissed insinuations by some people that he will stop working if re-elected. The governor affirmed that he will not renege on his promises but work hard to fulfill all his promises. According to him, his government has embarked on developmental projects in the areas of road rehabilitation, health, education, youth empowerment, as well as provision of free monthly food for vulnerable groups, among others. Away from that, the 21st president of the Omo Ajorosun Club, Alhaji Abiola Ali, has assured Ibadan indigents of his commitment towards initiating programs that will have positive impact on the lives of the club members and the entire town. Alhaji Ali, who made the remark during his investiture as the 21st president of the Social Culture Club, maintained that Omo Ajorosun Club will witness monumental achievements in the next 2 years. IBR's Anu Akomolafe reports that the eminent indigents of Ibadan from home and abroad showed up to be part of the colorful event.
Alhaji Abdullahi Abiola Ali was on top form as friends, associates, cream loader cream from all walks of life and members of the Omo Ajorosun Club showed up to witness his inauguration as the 21st president of the prestigious Omo Ajorosun Club, Ibadan. The 21st president of the club, who joined the Social Cultural Club in 2009 with membership number of 221, has served both Omo Ajorosun Club and Ibadan land in various strategic capacities. At a colorful event that attracted Ibadan indigents from home and abroad, other 2022 to 2023 executives committees were also inaugurated. The chairman of the occasion, Major General Abdullahi Muraina, urged the new executives to initiate programs capable of curbing the menace of youth restiveness, drug usage, and abuse by youths.
I wish they should do more in terms of health and educational development programs. They should equally initiate programs that are capable of curbing the menace of youth restiveness, drug abuse, drug usage by youths, as this is becoming a potential explosion, as these antisocial behaviors are gradually weakening security architecture in our neighborhoods.
Delivering a lecture titled Ibadan Yesterday, Today and Tomorrow, the strategies, legacies and fallacies of each generation, the immediate party CI president, Chief Yemi Sholadoye, described Ibadan as a town that has made significant progress and urged people to stop comparing Ibadan chieftaincy system with those of other towns in Yoruba land.
I am repeating it. Nobody should continue to make us believe or compare Ibadan chieftaincy arrangement with that of any other arrangement in the world.
The President General CCI Oluyemisi Adeaga commended the new president of Omo Ajorosun Club for his selfless contributions, dedication and commitment to the cause of uplifting Ibadan land and urged Ibadan indigents to work together to take the town to enviable heights.
And he's a lovable person. A qualified chartered accountant fellow of his institute. but is blessed in terms of wisdom and in terms of administrative acumen.
Other eminent personalities included the Chief Executive Officer, Metropolitan Broadcasting Services, Dickon Owolabi Oladejo, described the president of Omajurusun Club as a man of integrity who will improve on the legacies of the founding fathers of the prestigious socio-cultural club.
Abiola is the general manager of Metropolitan Broadcasting Services. I happen to be the founder and CEO. So I'm a lucky guy that I'm closely associated with an achiever.
I'll give to them is to continue the way they have been doing, the way that qualified them for this very good post.
Families and loved ones could not hide their joy as they appreciated God for making the memorable event a reality. The new president, Alhaji Ali, appreciated the people for their love and support and promised to initiate programs that will have positive impact on the lives of the people.
To lead the club for the next 2 years. I want to thank them for this. I want to tell them that I am prepared to impact Ibadan land. I am determined to impact Omajurusun Club with a number of programs that I have in plans.
The musical band added color to the event. For the 21st president, whose career spans over 31 years as a high-profile and successful banker, accountant, business leader, administrator, as well as a general manager, Metropolitan Broadcasting Service, it is another opportunity to contribute his quota to the uplift of Omajurusun Club and the development of Ibadan land. Anu Akomalafe, IETV News.
In continuation of the celebration of President of the Omajurusun Club, dignitaries, family and friends have gathered to celebrate the accomplishment of Ibadan Zonal Director of Radio Nigeria, Bola Tito Joseph, and President of Omajurusun Club, Abiola Ali. Speaking with Impact News Crew, the dignitaries described them as individuals of immense values. Ayodele Fakeye was there and she completes the report.
The importance of acknowledging and celebrating the success of others cannot be overemphasized, as it is a powerful motivator for individuals. This is essentially so as it reinforces the meaning behind all the hard work and it shows appreciation for their achievements. In view of this, the founder of Impact Business Radio and IETV, Owolabi Oladejo, organized a luncheon to celebrate the accomplishments of the Zonal Director of Radio Nigeria, Ibadan, Bola Tito Joseph, and the President of Omajurusun Club, Abiola Ali. Speaking at the event, Nigeria's former ambassador to the Philippines, Dr. Yemi Farumbi, while describing the celebrators as people worthy of celebration, charged them to not rest on their laurels.
I like celebrating people when they are elevated, but really I always look at it as celebration of what you have done. And I'm more excited to be able to celebrate you after your term of office, because that will be a testimony to what you have done with the opportunity that it has pleased God to give you. We are celebrating you today to tell you that you must do so well that we will feel proud to celebrate you after.
Also speaking, the Southwest Zonal Director, National Broadcasting Commission, Raphael Akpan, who harped on the need to make an impact on the society, asked people to always celebrate the success of others.
The two people we are honoring today, I must say that I am indeed happy to be part of this. Like BJJ said, when you are happy for people's progress, definitely yours too will come. I am hoping that very soon I too will be celebrated. Amen. Because I know it will come. Yes. By the virtue of this association, it is not, by the virtue of this it will come.
While appreciating the organizer of the event, the president of Omar Jerusalem Club, Abiola Ali, said it is a thing of joy to be celebrated as well as a call to continue to strive for success.
I'm pleasantly surprised by what I'm seeing today. Very, very much surprised about what I'm seeing today because I never expected it. But my own is when I have a focus to do a particular thing, I want to do it well. Because I always believe that there may not be tomorrow in anything that I do. I want to do it today and end it today.
On her part, the Zonal Director of Radio Nigeria, Ibadan, Balatito Joseph, said words of encouragement from people played a role in the success that's being celebrated.
Let me say this. When you see a good thing and you celebrate, when you celebrate success, definitely you are telling God, I like what is happening here. And God, the rewarder of goodness, will reward everyone that is here.
Giving an insight into the reason behind the event, the founder of Impact Business Radio and IATV, Owolabi Oladejo, applauded the celebrators' dedication to hard work, stressing that it is a thing of joy for close associates to progress in life.
If you look around you and you see people around you moving up, please consider yourself lucky. You are either moving up or it's about time you move up yourself. So don't be angry that somebody is moving up. If you look around you and you discover that things are not working for people around you, you need to be very, very careful. There is what is called toxic environment.
Highlights of the event included merriment and goodwill messages. Ayodele Fakeye, IATV News.
The State Executive Council has approved plans for the review on and harmonization of the retirement age for teachers effective from January 2022. This is as the state government set up a committee to draft the document for the actualization of the exercise. In a statement today, the State Commissioner for Information, Mohammed Garba, explained that the exercise will lead to increase in salaries and other emoluments of teachers. Garba noted that although the move was not provided for in the 2023 budget, there is a need to allow the commencement of the new policy to be effective from last month. He added that the committee will constitute the necessary course for action towards the implementation of the initiative to boost the education sector in the state. According to him, the committee will also review the scheme and condition of service of teachers to accommodate new retirement age. But the new proposal, teachers' retirement age will increase from 35 years and 60 years of age to 40 years of service and 65 years of age, respectively. On the foreign scene, at least 6 people have been killed or nearly 50,000 displaced from Cyclone Basira brought strong winds and rain to Madagascar. Basira, the second major storm in 2 weeks, made landfall in the east coast with gusts and high waves hitting coastal areas. According to report, villages in the affected areas are almost completely destroyed. However, the National Weather Service says the cyclone has now been weakened. This is coming when Madagascar is already reeling from Tropical Storm Anna, which killed 55 people when it hit the Indian Ocean island nation last month. To end the news, another look at the major items. Buhari receives comprehensive briefing on coup in Guinea-Bissau, says Africa requires strong and visionary leadership to cater for the people's needs. African Union condemns waves of military coups, says more needs to be done to put an end to the menace. We also told you Serap urges Buhari to review security agencies' access to people's personal details via NIN SIM linkage. And former senator decries rising cases of money rituals, calls on federal government to build technology hubs. Many thanks for watching. I am Bolapo P. Moscow. Good night.